Come on, Jeffrey, what's the point of spending so many hours on these video games when you're not even enjoying them anymore? Look at Jeffrey, he wakes up and he logs onto Discord and Steam straight away, and he spends all day on his crusty black computer chair. He's wasting time, but worst of all, he doesn't really even enjoy it anymore. When Jeffrey was younger, playing video games was the most enjoyable part of his day. He'd hop online with his friends and they were all kind of competitive with each other, and they'd try and get more kills on League. They'd go raid other people's bases on Rust, and they'd lure noobs into the wilderness on RuneScape. But slowly and surely, some of Jeffrey's online friends just disappeared. Things change, you get older, you get responsibilities. But Jeffrey hasn't taken that step back from video games yet. Adonis is lucky. He was raised without the hyperstimulation of video games and Hamza's new videos. Instead, Adonis was raised in the house of fire. He was made to prepare for his rite of passage to become a man. Whilst Adonis was growing up, he would look at the boys around him, so confused as to why they wanted to level up their virtual characters instead of just level up in real life. He knew that they had the great rite of passage coming up, and so he trained vigorously, and he saw his peers fail, and fail. That scared Adonis. For these are his brothers in arms. You see, with great work, loyalty, and leadership, Adonis was promoted to the tribe leader. But he was always vigilant of the men around him because he knew how easily they could be pulled to the virtual world. And so he tried hard to save as many men as possible, to pull them away from their screens and bring them out into the wilderness, to challenge them, to set them up to conquer themselves. That is how Adonis's tribe grew to be great. Do you ever look back with a sense of regret when you think about how many hours you have on different video games? I remember having close to like 10,000 hours on RuneScape. That's the magical number, because when it's 10,000, you'd remember that one quote. And for me, for some reason, like I've never been into it, but I always used to think, wait, what if I put those 10,000 hours into playing football? Like I would be a sick footballer. Like what if I just didn't play RuneScape and I put it into something that was productive, that it was actually meaningful? And you might disagree and you might be like, oh, but Hamza, like you could have a lot of fun on RuneScape and it helped you grow into the person you are and you could be grateful. And no matter what we do, whether we achieve success or failure, we should always try to look back with a sense of gratitude, especially to our younger selves. But that doesn't mean that we can't learn from our mistakes and we can't kind of teach ourselves a lesson. And especially as men, we should be teaching our lessons to each other. How interesting is this, that every male in your bloodline has learned from other men in his tribe? If you really like think about your ancestors, they lived such different lives from you. That distant family member of yours was relied on. He had a purpose, he had meaningful work in the tribe, and then there's you. In the modern day, we don't really have those things. We don't have tribes. We don't have a rite of passage. And I think that is the reason why so many young men find themselves so attached to video games. Because what happens when you play a video game? That same natural desire that you have to be part of a tribe, to level up, brotherhood, achievement, you can get it in video games now. And you can get it fairly easily. To grow in real life, the level of discomfort is huge. Whereas in a game, it's just kind of like, yeah, just click on another 30,000 yaks and you'll be at 99 range. And so when you're young and you're not aware of this at all, video games are so fun and stimulating and it's always so hype when you're playing with friends. But then you do get older and you do start to see realities of life, and there's one moment for video gamers that really just darkens their mood and gets them like turned off from video games. It's the special moment where you realize that you could just be leveling up in real life. It's that moment where you question yourself, why am I making money on RuneScape? Why am I mining for gold on Minecraft? Why am I feeding mid lane on League of Legends? I could be developing myself in real life. I could be making money in real life. I could be learning skills to help my career. I think one of the most dangerous parts of video games is that it kind of strips away your ambitions. Every video gamer that I speak to says the same thing. They don't really feel that ambitious. They want to do big things in the video games, but in real life they don't have any goals. They're not really being productive or anything. Why? Because you only have like a set amount of drive, motivation, and ambition. And when you use those things in the virtual world, it takes away from what you can accomplish in real life. I want to give you some practical advice that you can implement straight away to feel better. First, I'm going to ask you to do something you've probably never done before, but just do this visualization. Close your eyes and just kind of see like a movie inside of your eyes, and just see how your son or your daughter will feel about you when they realize that the discomfort that they're facing, that your family is facing because of financial issues or because of your own lack of development. See the moment that they realize that's because their daddy's a loser. The moment they realize like, oh yeah, like daddy just always sits in front of the computer instead of being hardworking and ambitious. You might have never had someone who cares about you so much to give you the brutal truth of the path that you're on. But that movie that you've just played in your mind will probably be your reality. Sometimes as a young man, you need another man to come slap you in the face and like slap some sense into you and tell you like, bro, fix it up now, come on. You have so much more potential than you realize. The only thing that is stopping you right now is yourself and the choices that you make. Slowly and surely, you can start to get into the habit of making the good choices. Just like you leveled up in video games, you will start to level up in real life. You will go through this transition period where in video games, you feel like a legend. You're so good. You have that positive feedback loop because you know how to play. Your virtual personality is really high up there. But when you transition away from video games and start trying to level up in real life, you realize that you're a loser. Most video gamers, when they quit, they go back to playing video games because they don't want to deal with this transition period. But one day or another, you're going to have to go through this transition where you leave those things behind and you kind of evaluate your real life and you realize that you haven't been leveling it up like at all. But you have one special advantage. You understand completely what it takes to level up more than the people who never played video games. You know the exact process of leveling up. First, you start with some kind of education / learning. You need to learn what is the skill and how do I actually level it up? What do I do? And so I bet you would be different from a normal person when you start going to the gym because you would like autistically be searching up like advice on YouTube. You'd be learning so much because it's kind of like what you do when you're a proper video gamer. You like research the game, you watch guides and stuff. Normal people don't do that. When I first started going to the gym, I was so different from the people who were also going to the gym because they were literally just going to the gym and hoping for the best. I was researching it all just how I used to research RuneScape. We understand that to level up a skill, we need to gain XP, and XP is gained every time you do that task. But we also understand that you can't do the hardest task. You can't go and kill the dragon straight away, can you? When you're a noob in the game, what do? You start with the level 1 chickens. What is the level 1 chicken that you can kill in terms of some kind of personal development in the real world? In terms of the gym, it's going to do like a nice easy workout. You don't need to go and do the ultimate best workout. You know, you might have like this daunting fear before you go to the gym because you don't know what to do and everyone's going to laugh at you if you use the small weights and like you might injure yourself. But killing the level 1 chicken in terms of going to the gym is literally just step foot inside of the gym and try the things there. Slowly and surely you'll gain XP, you'll level up and you'll understand things better. And the beauty of having a video gamer's mindset but in the real world, you know exactly what happens when you level up. You get new rewards, you get a new life, you get status, money, you get a sense of well-being, you get attraction from women and even men. Most importantly, you feel good about yourself. You start to feel like you are good enough, you are worthy. This chapter of your life of taking a step back from video games and leveling up in real life, this is the modern day rite of passage. Share this video with a friend who needs to hear it. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.